Hello everybody, this is TipTop MTG here today with another Magic the Gathering Arena video. In today's video, we are going to be looking at some spoilers for Amonkhet Remastered. Now, normally when I do a spoiler video, I look at every single card they release, and I tell you what I think about it, what impact it'll have on Standard or whatever format it's going into, and just kind of give you my thoughts on them. But they're doing spoilers a little bit different for this, and they've done spoilers kind of differently for arena sets in the past. So how they're doing is there are only 6 sources doing spoilers, and they're just kind of dumping all of the cards. So for instance, here they are dumping all of the green cards. So this is just a list of all of the green cards. And I could go through every single one of these cards and just tell you, but I think that talking about 1/3 of the set per day is a little bit extreme. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the article, because they do reveal some information about Amonkhet Remastered. Normally I would just show you the cards and not really care where the source came from, but they do reveal some more information about the cards and some information about the set as a whole. So we're actually going to read through this article. I'm going to give you my thoughts, and then I'm going to have separate videos where I talk about the cards that were not included from Hour of Devastation and Amonkhet Remastered, because there are going to be more cards that were not that were included than were not. So I'm going to do a video where I just talk about every single card that was not included. So if people know Hour of Devastation and Amonkhet Remastered, then they can watch that. I'm also going to be doing a video where I talk about all of the new cards, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then I'm also going to be doing a video where I talk about, and this one's most likely, unless something goes wrong, I'm going to be doing a video talking about what cards will have the biggest impact on Historic. That way you don't have to talk, you don't have to listen to me talk about some green uncommon that really doesn't matter. There'll be a video for you. If you just want to know what's in the set, you can watch the cards that aren't in the set. If you want to know what's new, you can see the new video, and if you want to see what cards are going to be most impactful, in my opinion, you can watch that video. So why don't we read what they have to say? So, Standard rotation is happening for MTG Arena in September, and it's spoiler season for Amonkhet Remastered now. In short, Wizards of the Coast is literally remastering 2017's Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation sets for Magic Arena with 340 cards that are centered around Limited, Historic, and Pioneer, eventually. But before the actual set arrives on August 13th, Wizard has confirmed a few cards they'll reprint it along with the new remastered set. Here's a look at 2 of them with Destructoid exclusive art. So basically, they are reprinting certain cards from Magic's past that were not on Amonkhet. So this reminds me a lot of historic anthologies. They essentially took a bunch of random cards that they thought would improve the environment, and a lot of the time they ended up being right, but they took a bunch of random cards and then they added it to historic. And this feels like the same thing, but instead of having it be part of historic anthology, because they said there's no more happening this year, they are putting it in Amonkhet with new art, which I think is interesting. I believe this is the first time MTG Arena is getting a reprinted card with new art exclusive for it. So, for instance, this is Collected Company, a very very powerful green spell that, normally isn't on Amonkhet, so we have new art here. And I actually really like the way this looks. And I think Collected Company has a big chance to be one of the most powerful card, well, not one of the most powerful, but make an impact on Historic. So yeah, Collected Company from Dragons of Tarkir. It's a 4-cost instant. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put 2 creature cards with CMC 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Note that this is an instant. So yeah, they also are talking about Hornet Queen. So Hornet Queen is a card that was actually originally printed in the Commander decks, and it's a 7-cost creature with Flying and Death Touch, but it's also, when it enters the battlefield, create 4/1/1 green insect creature tokens with Flying and Death Touch, so it kind of just makes a swarm. It is very expensive, but it might be a good reanimator target. Point being, these are the 2 green new cards to MTG Arena that are not from Amonkhet, and so that's interesting. These will be found in Amonkhet packs. You'll be able to open them from packs. You'll be able to find them in Limited, and you'll be able to do all that. So they don't really mention whether these are rares, mythics, what they are on this site, but yeah, then they basically just say that, yep, these are interesting cards being added that weren't in Amonkhet, and I think it's kind of an interesting decision to add some random cards. I think this is them saying, oh, we wanted to do a historic anthology, but, you know, our schedule got busy, so let's just throw the historic anthology in Amonkhet. It could also be that they were like, ooh, you know what this environment needed? It needed more big bombs. Let's throw in Hornet Queen. Oh, you know what this environment needed? It needed, you know, more ways to get cards, So let's add Collected Company, and that can just throw them right on the battlefield. So I'm not sure. Maybe this is, you know, reaction to them saying, hey, let's improve the limited environment. But I think it feels like they just wanted to, you know, have a mini historic anthology. So yep, here is the list. So if you see a card and you're hoping it wasn't in here, well, here's the list of green cards. There are 6 sources, so I assume we're gonna have one that does white, green, blue, black, red, colorless / multicolor for the 6th one. So yeah, here is that. It looks pretty awesome. I love the art, and I'm excited to see what these new cards bring. They also make spoiler season much more exciting, although there was a giant leak where, you know, they talk where a bunch of cards were leaked because they were added to MTG Arena in the background. So I did a video covering that. If you want to check that out, do that. But yeah, this is just making it more exciting. It's nice to see the new art. Now, we also have all of the white cards. So this is from Eurogamer. Now, here we get to look at what they look like in-game. And we also get to see a couple of things. First off, we can see the new art for Wrath of God and Rest in Peace. I like both of them. But we also get to see what the set symbol looks like, and it looks like the Amonkhet symbol with the Hour of Devastation logo over it, which was kind of funny, because in my first video talking about it, that's what I did. I just put Amonkhet with Hour of Devastation. Now, they made it look better, but yeah, I think it looks good. I wasn't sure whether they were going to just do the Amonkhet logo and then do some, like, remastered look to it, and that way in the future they had a precedent, but I don't know. So obviously the 2 cards they're adding here are Wrath of God and Rest in Peace, so Wrath of God is probably going to see a lot of impact. Shatter of the Sky is seeing play within Historic, and this is just almost purely Batter Wrath of God. The only reason I would say it's not is if you're consistently going to have a 4 CMC thing on the battlefield, you might be able to, you know, make sure your opponent doesn't, and then you always get to draw a card and replace it. But generally, this is going to be pretty good. And then Rest in Peace, 2 cost, white enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, exile all cards from all graveyards. If a card or token would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile instead. So it's kind of a Leyline of the Void in white, but it, you know, doesn't obviously enter the battlefield for free, but it is much cheaper. I think that's actually going to be really nice. It'll probably see a lot of play in sideboards for things against like Uro decks, because this just, or not Uro decks, but decks that have Uro in it. So yeah, I think that these are actually both good inclusions. I think they're probably better than the green inclusions. I'm worried about Collected Company and Hornet Queen. I'm not worried about Wrath of God or Rest in Peace. So, yep. And so, yeah, then they have all of the cards. Now, here we see, like, the pictures of them. These are not from in-game. These are just, you know, pictures. But, yeah, it's exciting to see some cards confirmed, like Anointed Procession. It's worrying to see some cards confirmed, like Approach of the Second Sun. But, yeah. So those are the, you know, set of spoilers. We do see the confirmation that Gideon of the Trials is being added. I think a lot of these were pretty much confirmed. I love seeing things like Hour of Revelation, which is one of my favorite board wipes. It's not as good. It's better in like a Commander or a 4-player format where there is almost always going to be 10 non-land permanents. But yeah, I love the destroy all non-land permanents. If your opponent, you know, start using Field of the Dead, you know, they're going to have a bunch of permanents, boom, kill everything. Nice against Shrine decks, maybe. So yeah, I like cards like that. We have, obviously, so we've seen Oketra and Ronus. That probably means all of the gods are going to be here. I don't know what exactly they removed. We have things like Solemnity, which is a big combo piece with something like 9 lives, which says that counters can't be put on things. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos once Amonkhet Remastered comes out, talking about different decks and just having a lot of fun with it. So yeah, there's yeah, so it looks like, I don't know, I can't really at this moment tell you what they're missing, but again, I will be doing a video covering that. That's going to do it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think. Tomorrow I may return to just a normal format of showing a bunch of cards, but I wanted to talk about the articles themselves because the first one did reveal some information about how that was going to work with the new cards. Obviously, those new cards were leaked. Because they were leaked, I know some of the new cards that are coming, but I'm not going to talk about them here in case you don't want that. I will be back tomorrow talking about Amonkhet Remastered. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.